Okay. First off, make sure you go to Google Classroom and find our journal topic, which should be posted there. And it is in the form of a question. You guys remember how to answer the questions? You just type into the little place that says submit your answer. That's a nice one. Good job. Okay, and the journal topic is how to make a paper airplane. So we've been talking about technical writing, and today we're going to be learning about how to create our own instructions, and that as a type of technical writing. So what I want you to do is just real quickly in your journal to give me instructions on how to make a paper airplane, okay? And then when you're done, we will move on. Just about 3 to 4 sentences should be enough, okay? And I'll take roll, and we will move on from there. Josh, where did you say that rub was?
On our other property.
Oh, really?
Down by Stony Point Road. I don't know if
Do you have a deer stand set up there? You do?
Yeah. He had a bunch. He had like 3 scrapes, and then go rub, scrape.
Really?
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's a big tree too.
His scrapes were about that wide. They're about that long,
Wow.
tall.
That's awesome.
So I know where I'm going for these on
When is that?
Saturday.
Really? And are any of the rest of you going to hunt that day?
Yeah, I'm going to hunt the whole week.
Really? Are you going to like deer camp, or are you just gonna?
My cousin.
Oh, cool.
I can't hunt this weekend.
How come?
It's youth season.
Oh, is it?
You can bow hunt me.
You can still bow hunt?
Yeah.
So I've got my bow stands up. How to make a paper airplane, 4 to 5 sentences. Once everybody's finished with that, we'll go on to the next fabulous stage of our activities. So, Patrick, do you know how to make a paper airplane now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. That one's a really fun one too, because it does loops and whatnot, so
This one's on top of it.
I like to fold it down a little bit further. And then fold up the edges. That way it looks all cool and stylized. And I have to put like a little thing in the back. And then flat, it's all right. That'd be interesting. Anybody bring any weights for their rockets?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, we'll probably get some rocks. You guys are already weighted it down, isn't it?
Oh, we got to adjust a little here and there.
All right, is everybody ready?
I guess.
Okay. All right, so earlier this week, we were talking about technical writing. Okay, we started our lesson, our unit on technical writing, and what did we say technical writing is used for? Instructions, what else? Do you remember?
Direction.
Directions, yeah. In what field, like what career fields is technical writing used for? Remember we talked about that?
Factory.
Factory work, yeah. Like for instructions, interpersonal memos, right? Okay, so when we were talking about technical writing, we've already looked at creative writing. We've looked at essays. Okay, how is technical writing different from, say, creative writing and essay writing? What does technical writing rely more on than what, like, say, creative writing does? What kind of language is used? Do you remember? Simple? Yeah. Well, okay. What were you saying? Straight to the point? Okay. And what kind of language is usually used in creative writing or essay writing? What? You guys remember we talked about 2 different words. One was denotation and connotation.
Yeah.
You remember what those mean?
Yeah, dictionary meaning and the meaning.
Yes, our understood meaning. Yes. So denotation is dictionary meaning, and connotation is our understood meaning, what we know a word to mean. So which which type of definition do we use in technical writing?
Understood. Or notation.
It's a dictionary meaning, right? Denotation. And why do we do that? You guys remember?
Oh, yeah, so just.
So it doesn't confuse you. Yes, very good. Okay, so today, what I want us to do is I want us to look carefully at what makes up particularly instructions, okay, as a technical writer, okay? And what you guys are going to do is create your own instructions on how you built your water-powered rocket, okay? All right, so everything you put into it, all the little nuances of how you wanted it designed, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that down for a while. We're not back there yet, okay? All right, so it says, in a recent survey of Gerson and Gerson, 454 professional technical writers nationwide were asked which type of documentation they most often wrote. So that's, let's see, that would be like memos or resumes or emails. You guys put those paper airplanes down for a while. We're not there, okay? Pay attention, please. Okay? All right, the writing of instruction was named 90.1%. So that out of all the writing they do, instructions was 90%. Okay? And so we kind of talked about that, I think, a little bit because we talked about if you buy anything at the store, what's it going to always come with? Instructions, right? So that's a vast majority of the writing that's done is instructions, okay? Instructions, okay, tell the reader how to do something. They could include programming a VCR, which I don't think most of us use VCRs anymore. Most of it's DVDs. You still use VCR?
Yeah.
My wife's aunt does too. She has like VHSs all over the house. So, repairing a broken bicycle, installing speakers in a car, making a clock in industrial technology, performing a science experiment, or throwing a pot in ceramics class. Okay? So, to write effective instructions, students again must create clear, concise, accessible, and accurate text which achieves audience recognition. Okay? So, why does it have to be clear and accurate and to the point? Why do your instructions?
People won't understand what's happening.
So people will understand what's happening, right? And will understand how to follow the instructions, right? If you wrote instructions like an essay, what problems would you run into? It'd be confusing, right? Because you use those connotative meanings of words, and there's a lot of different meanings to a connotation when you look at a word and you look at its connotation, okay? Here's an example of instructions. You guys, you have this handout that I gave you. You'll have this exact sheet. Yep, look at the bottom, and that's a sample instructions, okay? It says successful instructions are much more detailed than the ones presented here, but this goes over a lab experiment. So if you're in my wife's biology class or in chemistry and you're doing a lab, you're going to have to follow the directions carefully. What happens if you don't follow those
Don't
directions?
mess up.
Yes, that it won't work. The experiment won't work. You might get in trouble for misuse of lab materials. Okay? All right. So here's what you're going to do. I want you guys, okay, to create your own set of instructions on how to build a rocket. Okay? So these are the things you're going to include. You're going to use a title. What's your title going to be, Larry? How to build what? Oh, rocket, right? Okay. A graphic to represent the topic. What kind of graphic would you maybe use?
Rocket.
A rocket ship, yeah. Introduction. This is the introduction of what you're going to be doing. It says, in this example, it says plant cutting instructions. With a cutting from a favorite plant, you will be able to grow that plant forever. Okay? All right, so tools and equipment. Propagation pod, potting soil. These are all the required tools. What kind of tools do we have to use? A
Bottle.
What?
Bottle.
Bottle, yeah. What else?
Scissors.
Scissors, okay. All right, and then we go on to the instructions themselves, okay? The numbered steps, okay, and they begin with a verb, okay? So if you look through here, it says cover the bottom of your propagation pot with at least 3 inches of soil, okay? So when you're giving instructions, you begin your sentences with a verb, okay? And this has the understood you as the subject. So it would be you cover the pot or you select your plant, okay? So you're going to be giving clear, direct directions to the person reading your instructions. And at the end, you're going to include any cautions. So if we're working with sharp objects or knives, what kind of caution might you use?
Stay away from another person with a knife.
Yeah, be careful when you're walking around with a knife. What else?
Be safe.
Be Do what?
Be safe.
Be safe?
Don't
Okay.
ride.
Is there anything else?
Stay clear with the rocket.
I'm gonna borrow that. Let me borrow yours. Thank you. What was that? Go back there. Okay. And then you have your conclusion at the end, okay? All right. Here is the last part on your page. Look at that last page. Okay? It tells you exactly in a summary of what you should include in your instructions. And then it says, here is an example instructions. Again, you'll notice that there's little pictures that go along with each thing you're doing. So if you want to maybe draw a picture, okay, we can put it in your instructions. And that way it makes it even more detailed. Why would you want to include pictures in your instructions?
So people know what's going on.
Yeah, the instructions you buy, like when you buy, say, I don't know, a Lego set. Are you going to be able to put the Lego set together with the instructions, without the instructions? Probably not, unless you're like super, super smart or like you've done it before, right?
Or
Okay.
you've seen the picture.
You what?
Or you've seen the picture.
Or you see the picture, yes, that's a good point. You can. The problem with doing that is I've lost instructions to my Legos before, and I've tried to put them together with the picture. And when you get into the internals of the Lego set,
It's hard.
it's hard because you don't know what it looks like. You have to kind of guess. It's possible, but it is difficult. Okay? All right, so what we're going to use to do this is you guys all have your Chromebooks, or most of you have Chromebooks. If not, you can borrow a Chromebook. And you're going to go to Google Docs. Have you guys know where that is?
Yeah.
Okay? You're going to use Google Docs to create your instructions. Okay? And you're going to email those to me, and that way I can print them off. Josh, I was just telling them that you're going to use Google Docs to create your set of instructions. Okay? And this is a template to follow. Yes, sir?
Are we doing this in groups or do you want to do this each?
I would like one separately from each
Oh,
of
I
you.
was hoping.
Okay. Well, I know Larry, but I believe that you can do this. I think you're quite capable without having to have help. Yes, yes, sir.
But you don't have to.
I just told them that I've got one that he's can borrow. Thank you for looking out for him though. Okay, you want your information accurate, correct? Okay. At the end, there's a peer evaluation checklist. Okay. Since you've all built your water-powered rockets, what I want you to do is after we get them completed and printed out, we're going to do this over 2 days, today and tomorrow. Okay. After you get it done, I want you to all print out a copy for everybody so that they can peer evaluate your instructions, okay? And we'll look more at that tomorrow, but this is your peer evaluation sheet. And it says, does the instruction include a title mentioning the topic to be discussed? And you'll click, or you'll mark yes or no. Does the title page include a graphic representation of the topic? You'll click your check yes or no. And then it says at the end, it says that if the answer is no, specify what is missing and suggest a solution, okay? So as you grade each other's kind of your peer evaluation, you're not actually going to give each other a grade, but you're going to evaluate it. Then you're going to specify what is missing and suggest a solution. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay? Does everybody understand what we're doing? Okay? So we're going to create a set of instructions, and we are going to then peer evaluate to see how well you've created your instructions and how easy they are to follow. And you guys will be good at grading each other's instructions because we've all built the rocket, so we all know how and what to do and what works best. Okay? So I want you guys to spend the rest of this period working on that, and then just at the very end here, we're going to go outside and hopefully shoot off our water-powered rockets, even in the rain, because that's how hardcore we are. Okay?